is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Yeah, it's time to empower, educate, and encourage all women to motivate you through whatever you've been going through. We can talk about it. We ain't passing no judgment. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. Tune into Your Lane Talk Show. It makes us feel good just to know we're not alone. No more will we feel isolated and cast aside. I want you to come out the dark. Just don't be afraid of your heart. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. It's your Coach Trish, Hanna.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Your Lane Talk Show with your coach Trish, Hanna. Good afternoon, and it is just a pleasure to be in your company once again on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. All right, as we step into the month of March, y'all, International Women's Month, we are intentionally celebrating the strength, the resilience, the wisdom, and faith of women who are walking boldly in their assignments. Now, Your Lane Talk Show is a space where women are empowered, educated, encouraged, in spirit, soul, and body. And yes, we are a faith-based show, okay? So don't get it twisted. You ain't coming on the show complaining about the government, complaining about what the people ain't doing, how that this ain't doing that. Not here. But we real. We're transparent. You know, we have the conversations that may not always make it to the pulpit on a regular Sunday, yet they matter deeply to everyday life and purpose. Okay, so that's what the show is about. You have a little concept for those who are listening to us for the very first time. And this is also an interactive space, I would say. So yes, you can call in, you could text, or you could post your questions live and connect directly with our guests at any time of the show, because we're always live, okay? We're stepping beyond the four walls into media. That's all. That's the only difference. So we get, sometimes when there are topics in the church that I may have, sometimes we can't really raise our hand up in the middle of the service and be like, I have a question, Pastor. We can't do that. But we may have pastors coming here. We have people who have experienced things that you may be going through that are here, that you can ask them, and we're open for those questions, all right? We're using this platform to inform, inspire, and impact lives across the Bahamas and beyond. Our last week's episode was titled, Teach Me How to Forgive Him with Apostle Yvette Benton. That was episode 164. My God. Okay, I'm going to leave that right there. For those who've been tuning in, let me tell you something. If you, by any chance, was not you had some grudge against your husband, you had some bitterness somewhere, something inside there was deep down in the crevice of your heart. I tell you, by the end of that show, yes, last week Sunday, you done all snotty nose, eye watering. Sorry, Jesus, forgive me. Y'all, I'm telling you, that's the type of show it was last week. I'm telling you, people are still calling in, texting me. If you listen to, if you were to watch the live on Facebook or YouTube, you would see the responses of people saying, oh my God, I need that. Thank you for deliverance. Thank you for all these different things. God has been faithful. God has been working through Apostle Yvette Benton, and he is just doing a new thing in her life, and I give God thanks for her. And even in that, If you want to know, my husband just did something or betrayed me or disappointed me in any way, I just need help. Go to episode 164, Teach Me How to Forgive Him, featuring Apostle Yvette Benton on Coach Trish Hanna, Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna on YouTube, or Your Lane Life Coaching on Facebook, okay? And as I'm saying this, I want to salute Apostle Gerald Benton, her wonderful king, priest, prophet, and king. Thank you for your yes, sir, and all that you do for IMI ministry and its various networks. God continue to bless you. I didn't have an opportunity to acknowledge and honor you last week Sunday, but God gave me breath today, and I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless your union. Now, today's episode is titled More Than a Title, Chosen for This, the Journey of a Pastor's Wife. Beyond every shepherd, as we know, y'all, is a woman who carries, covers, prays, supports, and often sacrifices in ways many will never see. All right, the title pastor's wife, or what they name first lady, may be visible, but the journey, the weight, the grace, and the calling beyond it are far beyond what the eyes can see. And I don't know this personally because I don't have a pastor. My husband's not a pastor, but my husband is also in the limelight of other people in this country. And so I get a little taste of it, what to do, what not to do. And then I also had an opportunity to invite other pastors' wives a few years ago that were on the show. And they gave me a little insight. Oh, child, what it is listen here. Don't sleep. They gave me some insight, and guess what? All of us obviously may not have had an opportunity to listen to those guests at that time, but we have some guests here. Joining me today are two phenomenal women who are walking this journey with strength and grace. We have Pastor Audra Bain of Judah's House Ministries and Mrs. Tiffany Johnson of New Victory Temple Church of God. Now, before we get into introducing them, I need you to tag some people, and share the page for me. Producer, very good. Thank you, sir. Blessings. Hey. All right. So I want you to tag some people, especially those who you know who may have just, and I know of one definitely, who may have just gotten married to a pastor, or the pastor has just been ordained. They need to know. They need to listen to this. They need to tune in. Go tune into those who've been saying, because I remember when I was younger, I will marry a pastor. I remember that. I got to marry a man of God. You know, I remember that. And then when I heard the testimonies from Pastor Cleo and them, I said, no, Jesus. Not me, Lord. All right. Of course, you can tune in to Guardian 96.9 FM radio dial, channel 969 on cable. So if you're home, you could tune in from the cable, and BTC Flow channel 612. We are also on the Guardian radio app for Android or Apple, or on the website www.guardiantalkradio.com. We're also on Facebook, y'all. Your Lane Life Coaching on Facebook, and then on YouTube, Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna Live, right? Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna, episode 165, More Than a Title, Chosen for This Journey of a Pastor's Wife, is brought to you by John Shoe Store and Accessories, Tropical Gyros, Your Lane Life Coaching, the Children's Dream Journal. Now, real quick, let me just talk about the children for those who are watching can see. All right, the question I want to ask is, when was the last time y'all asked your child what they dream? Parents, have you ever asked your child what they dreamt last night or the night before? Don't ignore it. Document it. All right. My Children's Dream Journal helps children write and draw their dreams while teaching parents how to pay and pray. All right. Paying attention to what God may be revealing through our children. It's intentional. It's fun, and it builds spiritual awareness early. It gives opens doors for communication, so you'll be able to know where your children's emotions lie based on the dreams that they dream. Okay. Grab your copy today. You can get it at All Seasons Book and Gift Center in Palmdale, or on Amazon. We're also brought to you by Lysol, distributed by Thompson Trading, and Del Monte, distributed by Thompson Trading. And y'all, this is my baby. I am launching this for the very first time. Y'all hearing for the very first time. We're also sponsored by 242 Media Connect. What is 242 Media Connect? I'm going to tell you. I like how you said it like you don't know what it is, but you was just so excited. These are the type of people I need in my life, you know? As a talk show host, media professional, and someone who has been in communications for many years, I've seen both sides. I know what it feels like to be searching for the right guest, the right expert, the right voice for a conversation. And I also know so many incredible Bahamians who may have powerful stories, professional insight, lived experience, and valuable expertise, right? But they don't always have a place to connect, and they don't always have a platform to speak, right? And I kept thinking, there has to be a better way. For those who follow me on Facebook, y'all see where I'll ask, y'all know anybody who XYZ? Y'all can help me with that. So Media Connect. All right, where we're connecting media, speakers, and stories across the Bahamas and beyond. This is a centralized platform designed to bridge the gap, all right? So if you are a talk show host, a podcaster, a journalist, a conference organizer, a corporate event planner, or someone curating panels and seminars, this space is for you. So instead of searching everywhere, you can come to one place and connect with credible speakers and guests. And if you are a professional, a coach, a doctor, a lawyer, an entrepreneur, a ministry leader, or simply someone with a powerful testimony or lived experience, this is your opportunity to make your voice accessible. This is about access. This is about visibility. This is about strengthening our media community right here in the Bahamas. Yes, we can connect beyond our shores. I get that, but we start by building home first. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So 242 Media Connect is where our media meets message, and I truly believe this is going to elevate the conversations happening across our nations. So I am officially inviting you. Be a part of it. Let's build something impactful together. Go to 242 Media Connect on Facebook right now. Just before I invite the guests, go and do that. 242 Media Connect, and let's be a part. I'm going to, after this show, go to all of my guests who I've had. This year is going to be 4 years that I've had this show. We have done 154 shows. Is it 154? 165 shows thus far, and I'm going to each of my guests and asking them to connect to this 242 Media Connect. Go on Facebook and join, all right? All right, now if you have any questions today, if you have any comments today, if you want to ask our guests anything, you can give us a call at 323-6232. 325-4259. What if you have a question and you want to remain anonymous? You might be a pastor's wife. You don't want nobody to know that your voice, because they know your voice, right? You could text the number. You could text your question or statement, whatever it is that you want to say, to 422-4796. All right, now let's get into it. I am so excited, y'all. I am excited. I'm going to introduce our first guest. We have with us Pastor Audra Bain. She is a woman of prayer, worship, and unwavering faith, standing firmly on Philippians 1 verse 6, which says, I am confident that God will complete the work he began in me. That's what she's saying, right? A fourth generation intercessor. Prayer has been the foundation of her life and ministry from a young age. With a deep love for worship and creativity, she has served in various ministry roles, blending administration, music, and intercession with excellence and grace. Alongside her husband, Pastor Brian Bain, whom she married in 2013. She has co-authored 2 31-day devotionals and partnered in ministry with passion and purpose. In 2021, they officially launched Judah's House, where they now serve as senior pastors, building what they describe as a house of refuge for all generations. Pastor Audra carries a strong apostolic grace in leadership, yet her greatest desire is simply to love and carry the presence of the Lord wherever she goes. My God. My second guest is Mrs. Tiffany Johnson, all her government name. She married her friend and ministry partner, Bishop Tavares Johnson, in 2013, and has faithfully served alongside him in ministry ever since. During his tenure as National Youth Director for the Church of God, Bahamas, from 2014 to 2018, she stood as a steadfast support, demonstrating grace and family and church. She currently serves in several key leadership roles, including president of the Women's Ministry at New Victory Temple Church of God, Women's Discipleship President for the District of Bimini, Vice President of the Pastors' Wives Association, and second vice president of the National Women's Discipleship Ministry. Alongside her husband, she has helped build a thriving ministry while nurturing a beautiful family, and they are blessed with 2 children. Mrs. Johnson embodies strength, service, and dedication, truly reflecting what it means to be more than a title and chosen for this journey. Listen, I need the cameras to just reflect these women. Hold on, give me 1 second, because y'all don't understand. I want y'all. Hold on, how you do this? Let me see if I could do it right. That's the best I could do for right now. Because let me tell y'all something. They look cute. They look cute, hey. They look cute. They look like they can't harm a fly. But listen, y'all go for their husband. Yeah, go on. I dare y'all to do it.
Yeah, don't bother with that.
Don't do it.
Don't bother with that.
Right? So, ladies, I want to thank you for being a part of your Lane Talk Show. Thank you for saying yes to this invitation today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Welcome. Let's begin here. When you first became a pastor's wife, dun dun dun, did you fully understand what you were saying yes to do? What you were saying yes to, rather, or did the journey just teach you along the way? So in other words, you already had that. You didn't ask the questions, you didn't know what to do, you didn't had it all down packed, or was it something where you was feeling your way through? Who can talk first?
In the story already.
I think we're about to say the same thing.
So I remember him coming home, and he said, "Do you want to go to New Victory Temple?" And at the time, they were having services or whatnot. So that's what I thought he meant when he said, "Do you want?" I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem, sure." Not realizing that he was about to accept the invitation as pastor of that ministry. Now, my mom is a pastor's wife, so for me, I was like, I think I could do it. Mommy did it. I'm watching aunts and in my family, and they are doing it, so this could be a good stepping stone for me. And then whoa, I realized that it was not just sitting on the front row or dressing up. Nope. And I remember the overseer at the time, he came and he said, next week is Mother's Day, so you're going to have to preach and make sure I get the gifts. Now, my husband was not the first to preach at the ministry. It was me. Wow. And so I didn't have no kind of floaty as a pastor's wife. We dove right in there, but I'm learning as I go along for the journey. It's definitely a day-by-day learning experience. Wow. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I concur. I wish there was a manual. I think a lot of times when you accept it or you begin doing it, you have an expectation that, we could do some stuff together. Yeah. Till you realize that, you could do some stuff together, but along the road, you can have some bumps, you can have some potholes. So literally learning along the way. And I oftentimes remind my people of the same thing. Okay. I said, we learning this as we go, by the way. Right. So the same way there's expectation for us to give you grace, you gotta give us grace too. Give us grace.
I love how you said that, because sometimes people have this misconception that pastors' wives have to have it all together. I love the fact that you were transparent with your people, with your congregation. What are some of the misconceptions that you think, because I know your congregation don't know, but maybe other people, they don't check, okay? Other people in other churches may have when it comes to pastors' wives.
That we never make mistakes. And that we won't ever make mistakes. That we too don't get tired or we don't want to show up. That this is a bed of ease and roses. Of course, I don't know how Church of God works, but pastoral anniversary is pretty much celebrated. You celebrate that once a year. Yeah. But people figure, well, the pastor getting all this money, they getting all this big stuff, when realistically, you celebrate us once a year. Yeah. But y'all are celebrated all the time, because somebody needs something, and when the husband got to turn to look at you, and if money for the church got it paid, can we use somebody and the pastor, as a pastor wife, if we don't? So the misconception is all pastors' wives are mean. All pastors' wives, that we don't care. We are mean if you mess with our man. Absolutely.
Get them.
that all pastors' wives are negative and all pastors' wives fluffy. There's some of us that really mean God.
Right.
And we will get down and dirty. Like you could clearly hear by both of our voices.
I can hear. Yeah.
We will get down and dirty. And what people don't realize too is we get down and dirty for the people.
Yeah.
I love that.
For the people. My voice goes most of the times because I'll holler and scream at the altar with somebody. And that's what we do as pastors' wives. And yet we still got to go home and be wife to them.
Oh, we going there.
Yeah.
You have anything to add real quick?
The only thing is that everyone is the same, meaning all pastors' wives' shoes.
Yeah.
The same. I had this one, so you should be exactly like this.
Yeah, no.
And everyone has their own individual personalities, talents, gifts, offerings that they can give to the congregation. And so embrace exactly who she is, because not everyone is the same. God didn't create. He is a creative. And so every time he places a woman on the side of a man in ministry, she has something in her to offer that ministry that no one else does.
That's good.
So embrace that. Yeah.
I love that. Do you ever feel lonely? Because I mean, it's just like you said, people call you mean, not you, but they will perceive that pastors' wives are mean. But is this a lonely journey for y'all? Is it?
Sometimes very.
It is, and I think it's more being guarded. So some persons may take being mean or she's standoffish. Sometimes you have to be very guarded, and if you are not guided as to how to navigate, sometimes knowing where the boundary stops, it could come off as if she is mean and standoffish when really you cannot even understand the answer to how are you today. Sometimes that's how it feels. You can't carry the weight of what I really want to say.
No.
So sometimes you just stop at, I'm good. I'm okay.
I think along with that is also the guardedness, even from other pastors' wives. I think we, without saying, there is an unspoken friction within that doesn't need to be. So sometimes we feel lonely because I don't even have nobody else I can pick up the phone and talk to that would get what I'm saying without taking it and carrying it someplace else. So I think that's one of the greatest, loneliest parts for us as pastor's wife, because other than my husband is my venting post. So once I done vent with him, and husband like, wait, that I can jump in the car, go to ice cream with, and just let this all out and know that it stays there.
Right.
So that is one of the loneliest parts as well.
For those who are tuning in, for the intercessors who are tuning in, no, but seriously, no, I really need y'all to know this. There's a reason for this conversation that is beyond us, but for you who tune in and tapped in the spirit, I ask that you pray to cover pastors' wives all over the world, because especially now, when I say pastors, y'all know what I mean. Them ones who faithful to God now, who trust and know Jesus as Lord and Savior of their lives, because there is we can go there too. There's an enemy assigned specifically for them. All right, specifically to the phone done ringing, specifically to their purpose, their identity. You know, the fact that what Pastor Audra said. Look, there are some times that I want to say something. I want to have a girlfriend, meaning a female friend, because you have to be careful these days. Right. And so, but I'm unable to share how or what I want to say or share how I want to say it because of the fear of it going somewhere else. And then as wives, and I am not, once again, I'm saying because I also have to protect my king as well. I'm being mindful of what we say because we don't know how that could get back to us. All right, so let's take a moment real quick to answer this phone.
Okay.
Your Lane Talk Show, good afternoon.
Nice to be in your lane with those two beautiful ladies. I know not either of them, but they song Holy Ghost filled.
Yes, sir.
But let me thank you first for those tickets that I have won. I heard that the concert was off the chain, they say, like the young people say.
Oh, so you didn't attend?
Mind you, I had a birthday party and I gave them out as a gift.
Okay, so you gave it to somebody else, because I would have been highly upset, sir.
They called me on Saturday morning, and there's bragging about it.
About how wonderful it was.
He said, y'all should have some shelves, because they had to park and walk so far, the crowd was so big.
All right, so that's not really me. Yes, sir.
In anything in life, being at the top will always be lonely.
Yes.
At the top is always lonely. People say, boy, I won't be the prime minister. Being the prime minister is very, very lonely, because you have to guide every conversation that you have. When
That
you're
is
at the
true.
top, you have to be careful with every conversation that you have. Put this thing about first lady. I don't know where that come from. Because if it's a first lady, it has to be a second and a third. Wherever there's a
Right.
first.
My mom always says.
Yeah,
You know,
I
go
don't
to
like the
church,
term.
My pastor wife says she's the only lady.
The
That,
only-
yeah.
She
I
ain't
don't
no
like
first.
now, but see,
'Cause
you
if
weren't
it's a
able
first,
to
you have
walk.
have a second and a third.
That's true.
Right.
So I'm gonna let you hang up because you have a very full show today. But I thank you so much. I'm glad that you were able to bless somebody else with the tickets. May God continue to bless you, and thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so yeah, that's why if for those who are watching us on Facebook, I use the quotes First Lady. I don't like it either, but we're not going there today. Let's move on. There is a texter. I'm gonna read this, and there's a specific time that I want to read this particular text that is written. So give me some grace, okay? I've seen your text. All right, so let's move on, ladies. It's a lonely road. But as I've stated, having to think about your esteem, who you are, your identity, etc. Have you ever felt as if you have somehow misplaced your identity, got lost in your identity in your role as a pastor's wife?
Oh, yeah.
You had to take off who you are. I had to take off Audra. So I'm calling you Audra. I had to take off Tiffany because I have to play this role. Tell me about it.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
Absolutely. Oftentimes, because it's just doing so much, and then you have to really catch your own self and remind yourself, hey, girl, a girl today. You be a girl today. And it's okay to pull back and wind down. So my role, I didn't indicate that in my bio. So at Judah's house, I am of course a pastor's wife. I lead the music ministry, music and fine arts. I also lead the intercessory team. I'm also the church's administrator. Okay. And music and fine arts under that is praise team, dance team, musicians. Well, I ain't a musician, but they all respond to me. Yeah. And then anything the pastor need, he coming to me. So one day I literally look at him, I said, I cannot go a step further. I'm tired.
Burnt out.
I'm tired. And he just looked at me. And I say, yeah, this wife talking. And he say, yeah, okay, I got it. And there are times that I just have to don't do nothing. I play Candy Crush.
So bring yourself back to
Yeah, because I have to come back out because it's so much from the counseling sessions, and that's the counseling sessions within the church, on the job, to just being the different things that are needed and necessary. It becomes so much that you can feel yourself spiraling. I told him last year, I said, 2026, we are intentionally taking quarterly breaks. Something that I tried for us to do when we first got married. I said, we're taking quarterly breaks. I said, because we can't afford to lose ourselves while doing what God called us to do.
Right.
That part. That I'm gonna let you talk.
No problem. Listen, before I got married, I did everything. I wasn't afraid to be a great single. Whatever it was, Toastmasters, speaking, pageants, whatever. As soon as I got there was no Tiffany. And then I had kids the next year, so I became Tasia and Taj's mom. So there was no Tiffany, and people will still recognize me as, oh, that's Tavares' wife. I embrace it now, but before I was like, nobody calls me by name anymore. So even sitting as a pastor's wife, you have to be intentional about and confident in who you are. People are gonna call you affectionately by how they relate to you. It's not even offensive, it's just how people are. So if you are not secure in who you are, trust me, you will get lost and piled
swallowed
on
up.
in all of the titles and everything there is. And there's such a beautiful thing about just being Sister Tiff. And that's okay, being their mom. I'm okay with that because they were 1 and 3 when we became leaders of the church. So that means baby's running across here and I've got to figure out, do I have to be in the front row? At least you're a music minister. At that time, we didn't have a praise team at that time. So that means me and my non-music praise team self had to find myself as praise team leader.
Fill it in.
So even as pastor's wife, you will find yourself
fill it in.
taking on other roles that you never necessarily wanted to take on.
Oh, weren't
but
even
Cora,
doing it.
yeah, you have to learn how to do it. But and that will cause you to sometimes be insecure because
Yeah.
where we going leading praise team? And you're supposed to be sitting on the front row.
Yeah.
But if my husband needs it for that particular time, God will grace you for that season to work through whatever else is needed. So I had to learn over the years to be confident in who he has called me to be. Whatever my husband needs is already in me.
That.
So I don't have to try to figure it out or learn it. It was
good.
already there. God already knew what the deficiencies would have been in the ministry. And so before we even met, he knew that we had to connect because whatever he needed, I was to be on the side of him and work through that in ministry. That the enemy will attack because
Absolutely.
where you going?
Yeah.
Where you going, leading? Where you going?
Just say
Where
it.
you
Just carry
going?
on.
Wait, where are you going? The enemy. Where
Because
the
you can
enemy
carry this whole thing.
Yeah, the enemy will attack your because you're gonna feel insecure up there when you miss and hit the wrong one time. When somebody walks out or they didn't come to the altar call, all of the small things that you say, I'm not called to be. The Lord has already graced you to be. You just have to embrace whatever it is. So anytime you find yourself seeing a deficiency, you're like, oh no, I'm sitting back. No, figure
Own
out
your space.
how are you gonna hold on to
Listen,
that.
and
you
I
have
love
it.
that because you're a helpmeet.
Yeah.
You are helping your husband meet his purpose
Yeah.
and destiny that
Yeah.
God has called him for. That's your purpose. You are a part of your purpose. So don't get lost. And this is for those who are tuning in. Don't get lost. And, well, what about me? And what will I do? No, know who you are first.
Right.
Know what God has called you for. Can I take it a step further? When you in prayer and in your closet, find out who God has called him to be so that you could tap into it
Yeah.
and know so that y'all could dominion on the earth together.
Right.
Dual dominion.
Yeah.
Okay? Now,
Yeah.
if y'all are tuning in, for those, that, you just come on, you don't know what's going on, what's happening. This is Your Lane Talk Show with Coach Trish Hanna. And we have two beautiful ladies here talking about what it is to be a pastor's wife. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop so that we can take a break so that we can go back into our questions. All right. Because this is important for those who are pastors' wives who need to get that little ounce of strength, of energy, of boats to say, God, I need something. Somebody needs to let me feel as if I'm not alone in this journey. So yes, you may feel lonely, but you're not alone because there are other women there who are feeling the same thing that you're feeling, who are going through the same things that you may be going through. All right. So let's take a quick break, producer, and then we'll get right back into the show.
At the heart of every great meal is a simple yet powerful idea: quality. At Del Monte, we are committed to cultivating quality, growing the freshest, most nutritious vegetables, fruits, and tomatoes for your family. With non-GMO ingredients and BPA-free packaging, you can trust that every can is packed with goodness. So whether it's a quick snack or a hearty family dinner, Del Monte brings wholesome flavor to your table. Look for it in your favorite food store. Del Monte, fresh taste, smart choices. Distributed by Thompson Trading.
Craving something bold, fresh, and unforgettable? Tropical Gyros is your flavor-packed escape. A Carib-Greek fusion born right here in Nassau. From juicy grilled salmon, chicken-loaded bowls, fresh salads, wings, and more. There's something for every craving. Find Tropical Gyros at any of their locations: JFK Plaza, Rosetta Street, Port Lucaya Freeport, or their franchise spots on Prince Charles Drive, Soldier Road West, Delaport, and Carmichael Road. Tropical Gyros, not just good food, it's an experience.
With Lysol, you can disinfect all surfaces inside and outside your home. When used as directed, Lysol eliminates 99.9% of bacteria, fungus, and viruses. Maintain a healthy home by preventing sickness and keeping infections under control. Don't just clean your surfaces, disinfect them. Lysol does more for you and your family. That's our mission for health. Distributed by Thompson Trading Company.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for still staying with us on Your Lane Talk Show with Coach Trish, Hanna, our guests, Pastor Audra, Bain, and Mrs. Tiffany Johnson are here and ready to just be as transparent as they can in reference to talking about what it means to be a pastor's wife. Now, one of the questions I want to ask y'all, because from the time I've been listening to y'all, I mean, your voice horsey, like y'all said before, y'all just always praying and interceding. I want to know if your prayer life shifted.
Ooh. Ooh, child.
All right, I know y'all praying for other people, and I get that, right? I know y'all at the altar praying, and come out in the name of Jesus. I get that, but how has it been as a pastor's wife, praying for your husband, praying for yourself, all of that?
Let me tell you, the first night I slept in my husband's place, the dream that I had, that attack, hold on now. I said, because a lot of people figure there's a glamour about there's all of this, but you will be put in a position not to want to pray. You will have to pray. There is no doubt about the fact that your prayer life is going to, else it will devour you. I'm sorry, it will drown you. There are seasons of your life that are going to be so much more. He needs covering more than he even thinks about it. So a lot of times God will show you things, and the way that he needs to be covered for this particular season. So while he may be comfortably turned over, he's going to nudge you to make sure, go and intercede on it. There are seasons where there's not even words to come out. I don't even know where you're directing us or why we're getting this type of attack. But when I tell you there is not I can't wait to put my prayer journal here and put the candles here and in the morning devotion, there's not even that. There is a desperate need to make sure that your prayer life is top notch. Yeah, you can't miss with it.
Always. My prayer life has intensified to even the 5 a.m.s when you don't want to, the 3 a.m.s when you're not feeling it. And I've always been a prayer girl, like you heard in my bio. But this one is much different, much different. The prayer for him looks different concerning everything, from his mind to his body to his heart. When you deal with different things, and as you know, he experiences hurt, with disappointments. You know, because while pastoring is a special thing. It's a unique thing. So you take on people to the point that you literally look at these like this, your children. You know, you're expecting, you believe, and you're looking forward to the growth and movement. And then when something happens, you're like, boy, really? So there's an element of a broken heart in there. So you got to pray for that heart. So you feel that, and then we're the ones that feel it because you see it. Like you're able to see it on them. Okay, that one. And then there's stuff that, of course, some things they may not share, but Holy Spirit reveals to you that you literally gotta pray and push through. I like that. I sat in service on Saturday last night. We have service Saturday nights. So last night, sitting there, and I heard his voice, and I was like, you was just talking normal, but literally as he preached, his voice started to leave. So I had to sit there to switch from a place of just sitting and listening to receive. So I switched over into intercession immediately, because clearly hell is trying to prevent this word from coming forth. So the prayers look so much different at different points, different times. After we were done eating, I say, you ready to lay down? And he say, I'm done. He said, I'm crushed. So while he slept, I had to get into a position of literally covering and, Father, cover, God, protect, refresh him from after, all of the pouring that would have taken place. So the intercessor never sleeps if you're a pastor's wife, especially the pastor that pastors like with a shepherd's eye. Like the Lord has designed us. You never rest and sleep.
My God.
No, it's true.
Looking at you
because it's when you hear comments like, I wish I had that, or this one should have had that. I'm like, you should have, because there's no way that you could feel the weight of the ministry and be okay that this is a great glamorous thing. There's no way.
So let me ask you then, Sister Tiff, right? What does covering your king, your pastor, your prophet of your home, what does that look like?
Boy, it looks like encouragement. It looks like discerning when he may need space.
Yes.
It looks like creating environments that is a safe space for him, because sometimes outside there's nobody he can vent to. But if he's not a person that is openly communicating, how do I then still create a space where, and an avenue for him to do that? Praying for the Lord to heal his heart. Heal his heart, because sometimes when there's a direct hit to your heart, it comes out, those issues are going to come out. You don't want that to be days when he may not want to come out of the bed. That looks like covering him and praying and making sure that house is a place of worship and peace, where the environment is one that boosts him and give him the strength that he needs to at different seasons.
it absolutely does.
And beyond prayer, it is also who you are to him. I don't want to just be his intercessor all the time. I want to heal him.
That would be a different kind of intercessor.
Come on, man.
Hold on,
Come
we going there. Hold on, wait, we ain't reached there yet. Hold on, we gonna get there.
I
though.
apologize,
Let
but
me ask. Let me ask the question, because Pastor Audra, like, let's be real too, because people need to know, wives need to know. Have you ever struggled praying for him during times when you were upset? Like he really made you upset. You'd be like, man, I gotta pray, but has it been a struggle?
Yes and no. Yes, I have. And the Holy Ghost on the inside of me won't let me stay mad. Even with one of the things that I had to learn quickly in pastoring, because we started pastoring, we weren't given a church already made, so we were dependent on people to come. So there were Saturdays that we went to service, and of course we had some miswires, communication, and quickly I had to learn, you got to get you together, because you need to jump and get in position to be what you needed to be. Because it's a possibility that ain't nobody coming. And there were some times when it was just me, him, and the musician. So that position I had to take was the intercessor, so that his heart won't be discouraged while we build this thing the Lord asking us to do. I got to make sure that you don't fall faint. So I got to pray for you. And while I pray, I got to say, preach, baby. You preaching good. Even though it's just free force inside here. So that intercession, the intercessor has to stand up even when you hurt. And then I've learned that after that is said and done, then you have a conversation.
I love that.
You have to learn to know the when. Before going out, sometimes ain't the right time. Because he done got a lot he dealing with in his mind, with discernment, preparing. Okay, I got to put me aside for this moment, because right now you don't need wife.
Right.
What you need is your intercessor. You need the person who is assigned to walk in ministry with you to step up. And after we done do what we had to do in ministry, when we come, we can talk about this.
That. I got to move on, only because we pressing for time, but it is so true. You have to know the timing, know when to speak to him. No, Esther did it. Esther had to know when it was time to talk. And that's how, you know what I'm saying? As God has taught me that. You know, at the end of the day, when my husband dealing with crime and stuff in this country and all this other things, whatever have you, I can't go calling him while he, you know, well, child, I realize you ain't close to garage door when you did what's going on. You ain't what? I can't do that. I used to do that, but I can't do that no more. All right. Okay. So let me ask you then, how do you protect your time? Because you're always pulling. Both of you are always being pulled by the church members, by children, by family and friends. How do you protect your wife and husband time? Not pastor, wife, and pastor. How do you protect those moments?
Grace, because you will be pulled in all directions by everyone, because you're everyone's everything a lot of times, him as well. And so if you are not intentional about making sure you set that time aside, they will be in your space 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, when you want to celebrate each other. Something is going on at church. You have to decide, are we going to this? So you choose between each other. And as long as you and him are okay in that space, then y'all are okay. Whoever else around, whatever they're dictating their opinions, don't matter. But you protect that, because what will happen is, and I remember earlier in ministry, persons would dictate to him who I should be on the side of him, where we should go, a lot of things. And so I had to then, between us, we have to be, are we okay? Are we choosing this?
That's important.
We choosing this. And so for me, over the years, you learn how to do that. Initially, you may not, because you want to be obedient. Yeah. You want to honor. But you will realize after all of this, when it's time to retire, it's you and her. What if she no longer, y'all ain't even on the same wavelength no more because you poured so much this way and was in balance with your marriage.
That's
so
good.
you want to make sure that even at the end of the day, look at the end product. Who is that person you want to sit on the side of you, reflect how we did this together, how we accomplished, how the Lord used us in all of this, and then that's how you manage your time. Thank you.
What does that look like for you?
I'll be very honest, we are still learning it.
Yeah.
We have dropped the ball a couple of times. Literally planned to do something, whether it was a movie, go out for a date, or just hang in, and we got a phone call. And it was some of the calls are stuff that you literally cannot not show up for, you know, that kind of way. And then I think we kind of resolved in the fact of, his thing is, he's not going without me. My husband don't have a meeting without me. Of course, unless it's a male to male and this, I have to. No. And then so we resolved that. Even in those times, if it's a drive home, if we take the long way home, if we just stop, look at the beach, we make a decision that the time that we have, whatever it looks like, we can make sure that we make it count with each other.
It's intentional.
It's intentional, because sometimes you really drop the ball bad.
Okay, so it's you find time to be intentional with your spouse, because that's important. Your household, your ministry before you go ministering to other people. But what about yourself? Because y'all are phenomenal women, like I stated earlier in the show. Y'all been pouring out. Y'all been get out. Y'all been casting demons on the altar. Y'all doing this, mother this, and wife this, and all these different things. When do you have time for yourself? Okay, this is important. When do you have time to reset? When can Pastor Audra be Pastor Audra? Just her. No, it's good to have hubby. There's a time for everything. But come, let's be real.
I don't know.
Without feeling guilty.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I don't, because we live with my mom. My dad died 2016. We got married 2013. And so it's just me. I'm an only child. So we're living with my mom, and his mom is up there in age as well. So we find ourselves taught between two parents who need us. Right. He have other siblings, but he is the pastor in the family. So where certain things happen, so there are times when I just really won't be to myself. But so that's why I honestly don't know. I'll be very honest with you. I don't even think I have that at work. My lunchtime is with my coworkers.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Lord of
mercy. I have to, if only because as of maybe the last 2 years, because what happens is your body speaks to you and says, hey, slow down. Yeah. And I had to slow all the way down to my limbs were not moving. Wow. I could not. They had to take me and rush me to. And I said, I don't want to get back there. So even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's after I've dropped them, sit in my car for a few minutes to focus on the day, even if it's looking at something funny and laughing, because I love to laugh, do that so that I can recalibrate myself and be for me. I have to repent of that because I am not intentional about me. I can plan for you.
Same.
I could set to tell you and encourage you all the way. But if I have to choose what I'm going to do for me and enjoy myself, I feel guilty.
Yeah.
And I'm about to stop you already. No, the coach in me can't let y'all talk no more.
I'm sure.
Okay, listen to me. Let me tell y'all something. There's no way y'all could pour from an empty cup.
No, we can't.
Jesus himself left the people to go by himself so that he can reset, recalibrate, so that he can allow the Holy Spirit, allow God to pour back into him, okay, so that he could get, and he was human at that time, so that he can get his body restored back in position and place, so that he can go back to the people and pour. You are unable to be 100% of yourself in a state where you just keep on going. Pastor Audra, Pastor Tiffany,
whatever
calling you Pastor. Miss Tiffany, listen to me. Y'all are not robots.
It's true.
Y'all are human first.
You are
Okay,
absolutely correct.
these bodies, they have the capacity to decay at any time, at any moment. And as you've stated before, the same body that keeps going is
It
going
will
to
shut down on you.
eventually
Yeah.
tell
It
you,
will.
let's
Lights
go.
out.
Yeah.
Let's see if we could just pause and ask Holy Spirit, could you give me the capacity to just find moments in my schedule to say this is only for me, just for 2 seconds, even if it means just playing some music in the background, go to the beach just for a couple of seconds, only you. Just for a couple minutes, just to breathe. Put your feet in our beautiful, tranquil waters. Just to say, Lord, I thank you. Something, just you. This ain't the time to intercede for John and you know, not them, not at this moment, just you, just you and Abba, and y'all connect. And he puts in, you know, like when you say you plug in, he's giving you back again, that breath, that ruach back into you, so that you could go and be the best that you possibly can. First of all, to yourself, and then secondly to your husband, and then thirdly to ministry.
Right.
Yeah, you are absolutely
That
correct.
is paramount. If anyone at the sound of my voice, y'all listen to me good, who's listening and tuning in, I can need but 2 massage therapy, something. No, but true, I need y'all to blast these
Take
women
it
of
in.
God.
I'll take
I
it.
need y'all to take it.
I
Give
don't stop
something.
on that.
Whatever it is that you do, especially if you go attend their church, I am admonishing you by the grace of God to bless them with something where they can actually say, this is me time for me. Because not only is it blessing them, because it's going to bless you too. Because while they're just being poured into by Holy Spirit, you never know what he can have given in them to try to say, let me go and bless the people with some new invention, some new creative thing to be to bless your family. You understand what I'm saying? If you're under the sound of my voice, you're tuning into me right now. We have Pastor Tiffany Johnson, Pastor Audra Bain. They need something to help them to refresh. All right, I had to pause and say, no, they ain't tell me this, because they actually admitting to us for the first time that they don't have time for themselves. We need to find time for them. And that's for any wife, any kind of any stature that can take care or tries to take care of everyone else except them.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Let me move on. All right, let's talk about, because obviously we've been hearing a lot of, I wouldn't say negative, but just not as, you know, we don't hear much benefits when it comes to pastors' wives. Let's hear about some of the privileges and the benefits that you carry, you know, of being a pastor's wife. Are there any?
That's hard to say it in that light, maybe not benefits, but the opportunity to make an impact is always top notch. One of the things that I love is wherever I go, people don't see me as a pastor's wife. I love that because you have an opportunity to be an invitation. So a lot of persons will be, I like your spirit. Oh my gosh, I think you're funny. I like hanging around. And they have no idea that I'm gonna just carry them along to my next women's meeting just because I want an opportunity. So I think as a pastor's wife, benefits would simply be you are an invitation, an open invitation, and a lot of unchurched. So when you go to get your little massage, your little waxing, she'd probably be talking her head off and being herself, and then she may say, I like your spirit. When they find out I'm a pastor's wife, I can't be offended because they're like, oh my gosh, are you a, yes, okay. You want to come and hang out? We can do that. And so a lot simply the impact. I also love the ladies that are on me because they are so gracious. They will say, Sister Tiff, come now. You need to come. Let me do your little nails because you need to keep yourself together. I like that. I like that because of the spirit that I have. It invites them to actually share and make an impact, however they want to. So
I love that.
That's me.
I definitely agree. I think for me, the greatest thing is the impact. Very early, I think it was year 1, the church started to grow, and it was mostly women, of course. And immediately, Holy Spirit speak to me, said, you need to start your women's ministry. And I was like, I don't want to do that. He said, start your women's ministry, or you will have a bunch of cat fights.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, clear and precise. So we started When Queens Gather. And When Queens Gather, and out of that, what was supposed to have been a weekend, we planned a weekend at an Airbnb. Mushroomed into a retreat. We about to celebrate literally year 4. We have retreat, and we kind of been opening up. But out of that, relationships has bloomed, and you're watching women literally grow and mature. And I think for me, that is one of the greatest. I'm watching women who were castaways experience a restoration, and you're watching them come into the fullness. So definitely the impact for me is the greatest benefit.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Now let's talk about, the financial realities, right? Because you mentioned it, and I was like, I'm gonna stick a pin there, but let me just, how, I don't even know how to ask this question. How would other people understand your financial,
They won't.
They won't.
obligations, the sacrifices that are made, the fact that some pastors' wives don't have like a full-time job in ministry. Let's talk about that just a little bit. We won't get all in the church business,
because you can't really broadcast what it is that you do. You can't. So there's no real understanding of the sacrifice that is made. And so a lot of people, I remember at one time, persons was like, yeah, but your hair and nails done and all of this stuff. And I'm like, you have no idea that the 21-year-old, 20-year-old, 25-year-old gave me a hairdo for free, did my nails, and did not. You have no idea. I don't have to buy. There was a season I wasn't buying clothes. I would get, girl, the boutique, they changed their season, here's a bag. And so people will look and have this idea of, that's how she, no, but you cannot really even broadcast the sacrifice that you have to make personally or even for your family just to be impactful in ministry. Sometimes somebody's rent, somebody's moving out. A woman has to move her whole children. What you gonna do? And my husband heart is big, very big. So he will give all and be like, we gonna make it. We gonna make it. And the thing is, again, he's graced us with wisdom as to how to navigate that system, so you won't feel the lack, and it won't be, not that it won't be hard, but he will give you the wisdom as to how to navigate that season financially or whatever it is that you need. But
I have never seen the righteous forsaken. By
No.
the way. Have you?
Uh-uh.
No. Have you
No.
seen
No.
the bread?
No.
Never, ever.
No.
Seed begging for
Ever.
bread.
he's never abandoned.
Okay.
He's
Never.
never abandoned us. He's
Never.
never,
Okay.
Yeah. No, she said it all. She said it all. Ministry, I wasn't working because it was fresh out of, we were literally in COVID, 2021. Pastor Brian was on, I don't know what to call it. He was working for the people level. I will not name.
Okay. Okay.
And my job furloughed me. So God, you're asking us to start a church. And on what? So yeah, it didn't add up. So the money still ain't money in.
The math ain't
The math still ain't
mathing.
mathing.
No, but
But God provided.
But the Lord has
does.
provided. And up to today, and like Sister Tiffany said, the one of the blessings I guess we can say is you'll have someone that will look and say, Pastor, let me do your nails. Or Pastor, I want to take care of your hair this week. Or, hey, Pastor, this is coming up. I made sure that you have clothes for it. And I'm like, thank God, because I didn't even remember this was coming up. Come on. You're like, oh, really? That's coming up? Because I was so busy planning for it.
Right.
I didn't remember that I needed to get dressed.
Yeah.
True.
Lord.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me tell you the reason and how I get to this particular topic today. So here it is. I'm on Facebook trying to put in my little input and my whatever it is.
No, you won't.
As I was scrolling through Tiffany Johnson,
Oh my gosh.
okay, on there, she doing her little vlog, whatever it is, her little venting moment about some woman. I don't know if she's going to be able to share it today, but there's some lady who was brazen enough. I can let her tell the story. Go ahead, sis.
Brazen enough to bring food to my mother's house. Every Tuesday my mom cooks. And so I did it as a joke, but I like it. It's a real thing that persons will come to the pastor and say, hey, this is for you. And I'm like, as long as you remember, here's a family of 4.
That's it.
As long as you're not slipping, and one day somebody slips me a bag and say, give this to pastor, and I slip it in the gap, they laughed at me. And some persons were offended, but sometimes there are women, there are pastors' wives who have said, Sister Tiff, I privately in the message, although we were laughing about it, it was a joke that I put out there. They were saying, I don't know how to stop them. Yeah, I know how to stop them. I will take the pan and I will politely I'm not going to carry it home, because there are some persons who plot on your demise. People look at your marriage and they will say, I wish it was like this, or I wish, and they plot on so many different things, and they do so many things as a joke. There were actually wives who were saying, this is actually happening. There's persons who are they would buy my husband a gift. And not.
So what you said.
They were doing. So even though I was laughing,
Okay,
they were
good.
laughing.
All right.
It was a joke.
Okay, good.
There were persons who were actually
Wow.
experiencing the situations where I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say when persons would come up to my husband and they're not giving him respect and not giving me the respect.
So, Pastor Audra, my question then, that's how I wanted to open it. I honestly thought that this truly happened, because I was like, hold on, sis. Hold my Bible.
And so many women of God. And so many women of God. But after what I found out that my husband had ordered through someone so that I wouldn't have to cook for the rest of the week. But he got the days off. So
Okay.
instead of it being a Thursday, she brought it on a Tuesday when my mom cooks. So I was already, his name on it, not mine. So I was already going off. My mom was like, you're going to send these people crazy. And I'm like, yeah, but it's already in my spirit. So I got to come out. Might as well get it out. Let me just get it out.
But we want to talk about this. We want to talk about
Yeah.
people who, especially women, find themselves too familiar with our husbands. And Pastor Audra, I'll let you take the floor.
Yeah,
Let's
please
go.
go.
So it's amazing that you said that, because I literally, and I'm sure he could laugh at this, because I literally told him a couple of weeks ago, I want to say maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I say, you send them to me.
Oh.
Back up, all the way. You send them to me, because of course, most churches have more women in any bed. I say, use my dark chocolate. Only one person get to call you that. One, that's me. So you send them to me. If they have any questions, comments, queries, concerns, if they need help, if they don't understand why they thinking this way, why they feeling this way, if they having issues with breed, give them my number. Send them to me, not you. It stops right now. So he didn't know what to do with it. I saw he freeze for a couple of seconds. I say, yeah, because I recognize that as we grow, you gotta have a different set, and I could deal with the hussy, and I know the difference between the hussy and the spiritual one that come in. You send them to me.
Remember when I tell y'all at the beginning of the show how they look so innocent? And they look just like they can't hurt a fly? You crossed the line.
Yeah, no, you crossed the line. And
Okay.
but I do know, though, we shared with each other the other day that one of the things that we have to teach this generation, and not generation of church, is boundaries. So I will help you to understand boundaries. We have a couple of young married couples in our church as well, and I told the wives, I ain't let y'all get no trouble. Back on the side, we can help them understand boundaries, because I have to teach you.
Yeah.
No, there are limits.
Yeah.
You have a question, you need a ride, you go to the wife. Ask the wife for a ride. I tell Pastor Brian, somebody asks him, I say, no, you send them to me. They need a ride, come to me. And then I can let someone else give you a ride.
Oh my God.
You have to set boundaries.
I'm setting boundaries. And one of the boundaries that I'm setting is for you to understand. He is your pastor. However, he will always be a pastor. He will pray for you. He will be there to help you. But there are restrictions, and you have to know how far to go with your pastor.
That.
And I'll help you to understand.
Before we take a break, I want to ask a question real quick, because we want to transition, right? What advice would you give to a newly appointed pastor's wife, or someone who is engaged to a pastor? As of course, we've already heard so many things, how to set boundaries. We know the importance of, having that self time, that me time. We understand, that our after God is our husbands, they are paramount, and then our children, and then we go from there. What other advice that we may not have covered that you can actually share with someone tuning in today?
I know there must be a pastor's wife who said, I did not sign up for this. I don't want to be a part of this. I like sitting comfortably where I am, but I promise you, if God called your husband, there is something that you have to offer. And my prayer is that you find that thing. Even if it's as small as, but I'm only the usher at the door and I like doing that. Yeah, but he's put something on the inside of you. You may not even see it or recognize it. I promise you, do not hide back. The enemy is using that very same excuse to pull apart so many ministry marriages, because sometimes the wife is already heavy with what you have to carry as a wife in the home and all of these things. So when you try to add, I need you to be active in ministry with that, she snaps back. Not that she doesn't love God or ministry. It's just heavy. My advice to you is God is giving you the grace. Embrace the grace that he has given you for right now. And I promise you this, it may be a year, 2 years that pass. It may be year 4 that you're just coming into who he's called you to be for that time. Embrace it. It's not that he called him and then you must be separate, because let me tell you, there are so many wives that have said, Tiff, I want to go because this ministry thing is not for you. Nope. Wow. You guys are going to make it, and he's going to grace you for it. So that's my advice. Yeah.
I'll definitely say the same thing. Lean into the grace that the Lord has already given you. Don't overthink it. And ask the Lord to show you his people through his eyes. As you see his people through the eyes of the Lord, he opens your heart to love them the way that he loves them. And then you won't see it as a task as much as you'll understand, oh, I'm blessed to make impact.
Wow.
In a generation.
I love it. We can stop right there. That was juicy. Right? We're gonna take a break, and right after the break, we're gonna have a Pastor Cleo Williams on board with us so that she can share with us what she's doing next week Sunday. And I was gonna say a pastor's wife, because she's also a pastor's wife. All right. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. I know she's been tuning in and listening to this show, and so she ain't gonna come off this live without saying something too. So I don't know if y'all know her, but for the lady that I know, the pastor that I know, the fire started. She ain't gonna just come here and talk about her event and don't leave something and drop something for you. She can drop it and she can just say, okay, go on. All right. So we are gonna right after this break, we're gonna hear from Pastor Cleo Williams. Thank you.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
At the heart of every great meal is a simple yet powerful idea: quality. At Del Monte, we are committed to cultivating quality, growing the freshest, most nutritious vegetables, fruits, and tomatoes for your family. With non-GMO ingredients and BPA-free packaging, you can trust that every can is packed with goodness. So whether it's a quick snack or a hearty family dinner, Del Monte brings wholesome flavor to your table. Look for it in your favorite food store. Del Monte, fresh taste, smart choices. Distributed by Thompson Trading.
You need to turn up the volume. This message is for you.
Where are you in your dream business? Have you published your book as yet? Do you feel fulfilled in life? Need help with time management? Or perhaps a breakthrough in your marriage? I believe we can help. At Your Lane Life Coaching, our professional team will help you discover what you really want and take you from where you are to your desired outcome in your life or marriage. It's important to us. Call us today at 376-8689 or visit our website at www.yourlanelifecoaching.com. Your Lane Life Coaching, discovering pathways to progress.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Welcome back to Your Lane Talk Show with Coach Trish, Hanna. We have been having a wonderful time with the episode More Than a Title Chosen for This. More Than a Title Chosen for This. The Journey of a Pastor's Wife. So as we transition, we want to hear actually from another pastor's wife, but she's having an event next week, Sunday. We're excited about it. We have with us Pastor Cleo Williams. Pastor Cleo, can you hear us? Are you there?
I can hear you. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
yes, we can. Loud and clear.
Awesome.
Thank you. Let me see if I can pull up your stuff. This is what I wanted to share real quick. So I want you to talk to us just for a moment to let us know what's happening, what you have. Tell us about this upcoming event. What is it called? And what is the vision behind it?
Well, awesome. First of all, good afternoon to yourself, Coach Trish. You know, I love you like cooked food on a Sunday. And it must have gravy. So that's plenty good
That's
kind
some
of
good
love.
loving.
Good loving.
Yes. Also, I want to salute your guests today, Pastor Audra and Tiffany. Listen, I mean, I've been tuned in, listening, and walking back memory lane with the ladies today. Some good memories and lesson. So March the 8th, we want to get into what we've come to talk about. March the 8th is International Women's Day. It's a globally celebrated day for our gender called the woman. And I am super excited that this year the Lord has released me to share in a gathering called Let the Oil Flow. So, a little bit of information or history. Last year, I was preparing to do an International Women's Day event called She Shift, which was scheduled for 2025, March the 7th, during the same time when all of the world is celebrating the woman. And my flyer was complete. We had started planning and all that wonderful stuff. And then I had a medical crisis last year, and I had to cancel all of my plans, all of my itinerant speaking invitations, all of my travels. And the only thing that was on the agenda was to present myself to a specialist in America to remedy some challenges I was having in my heart. And so on International Women's Day in 2025, I was just being released out of ICU to the regular ward, having undergone gone open heart surgery.
My God.
So, needless to say, when the Lord released for me to do an International Women's Day for 2026, of course, the spiraling was next level spiraling. I was not doing my best because all I was thinking was this it feels so familiar to go ahead and walk in this level of obedience and what happened last year and all of that wonderful stuff. Needless to say, here we are, because no matter whether we are comfortable or not, we will be obedient.
Yes.
And so this is what the Lord is requiring of us for this season. This Sunday at 6:30 p.m. at Life Changes Ministries, we will be gathering women from every walk of life. We have politician women, we have preaching women, we have professional women, we have praying women coming from all over the length and breadth of the Bahamas, gathering in this space under the canopy of Let the Oil Flow. Now, the international theme for International Women's Day is Give to Gain. Give to Gain. That's the international theme that's sent down from the United Nations. However, we're using that, but the Lord said specifically, I'm coming with a mandate to tell the women, let the oil flow. Their oil would have been under attack, in particular within the last year. And God is releasing a stirring in the earth. I believe oil geysers all over Life Changes Sanctuary will begin to burst forth, and gifts and talents and anointings, callings, special passions will be birthed in that space to go and do what it is that God has mandated for them to do. I believe that oil is getting ready to flow, and I am super excited about what God will do.
I love that. So where and when again? Because I know some people may not know exactly where you're located. I know you said
All
next
right.
week Sunday. Let's hear it.
Yes, next week, Sunday is March the 8th. That's the actual day, International Women's Day. That's a Sunday, next week, Sunday at 6:30 p.m. We are located on Bacardi Road. That's the now name, the soon to be named Life Changers Boulevard.
Come on.
This is just off of, or just opposite the Carmichael West Park, otherwise known as the Bacardi Road Park. Once you turn through, we are about, maybe about 500 yards down, and you can't miss it. 3-story building on the left, beige. The signage will be there, all that wonderful stuff. That's next week Sunday. Oil already flowing. Look, the whole thing.
I see
rocking.
that. I see that.
Yeah, next week Sunday, me unplug this thing. Next week Sunday, March the 8th at 6:30 p.m. Listen, this event started, I thought, as just an intimate gathering for women to come and just share. And when I tell you how this is super subscribed, I've been getting calls from Freeport, Grand Bahama, from Eleuthera, from Abaco, with persons just wanting to get in the building for what is about to happen. What is special about this particular gathering on the 8th of March? Yes, it's International Women's Day. Yes, we have women gathering from all over. Yes, all of that wonderful stuff. But this is also my debut after being silent for 1 year.
Wow.
I have not picked up a microphone to preach for 14 months since January of last year. My surgery was March the 6th. I had full open heart surgery, a very, very serious surgery. I spent some time in ICU, not knowing what the outcomes would have been. And from then, I have been on very rigid restrictions from the bishop himself, doctors, all sorts of people that watch me side-eyed and all that kinds of stuff. But March the 8th, I've been given a mandate to open my mouth and release the oil of the Lord that's been brewing and stirring in me for the last 1 year and 2 months. And I believe that something special will take place on those grounds this coming Sunday at 6:30 p.m.
I love that. For those who feel empty, for those who just need that to know how to get that oil back, for those who just need an encouraging word to keep them for the remainder of 2026, do not miss next week's event. Let me put this out the flyer. Can you say the name of the event again?
It's Let the Oil Flow. Let the Oil Flow in celebration of International Women's Day. We've been having women's events all over the country, and I love it. I am super in God to see his daughters rise up and take their rightful place as not just, and I know we're talking to pastors' wives today. I know this is what the show is, but the identity of woman outside of who she may be married to or not married to, the strength of the woman outside of what you think she's called to do, the vigor and the passion of a woman, whether her eyebrows are drawn correctly or not, whether she is remmied down or not. This woman that carries, I shared with the group the other day, I said the woman is the only other creation that shares a name with God. So one of God's name or nature is Jehovah Ebenezer. Yes? The woman, when he said, I bring you your help, Adam, that by definition is Azar. So the woman is the only creation that shares a name with God. That speaks to the specialty that we carry. It speaks to the unique design that we are as a solution in the earth. That's the kind of oil that will be released on the 8th. We are coming out of that space different. We're coming out of that space totally empowered to do what it is God has called us to do and be who it is that God has called us to be.
Ladies, remember when I told y'all there's no way that Pastor Cleo just come and talk about just her event without dropping some nuggets. Something have to carry me out. She's just going to drop it and then just go. My last question for you.
I've been quiet for 1 year. It's coming out.
Is there a registration?
No registration fee. No? This is an absolutely free event. This is one of the things that the Lord said to me specifically. Get the women in the room. I find that a lot of times when we put cover charge on things, we kind of create a restriction. No, this is an absolutely free event. It's costing some people something. However, to get in that space, oil is being released. The only distinction is the wise and the foolish.
Come on.
Come on. Woo! You see, I don't get
Okay.
That's the only distinction. The wise and the foolish.
So let me ask you before we leave, because as you know, we talking about pastor's wife, and you being a pastor's wife, how does hosting this event connect to your own journey?
It's very, very special, and that's a very, very good question. I have been serving as a pastor's wife for 23 years this April. And yes, I know I must have started at age 5. Thank you for that.
Right.
I appreciate. I'm certain you were thinking it. I just took the thoughts right out of your head. But this dovetails completely into my distinction, and I find that one of the faux pas of pastors' wives, especially the ones that desire this space, because we can't be ignorant to think that everyone who's married to a pastor didn't want that. No, there are some women who that was their lifelong dream. To marry a pastor. And that's wonderful. That's great aspirations to have. However, there's some people that make up the populace of pastors' wives who did not desire that. And so what this event represents is, I think if I could think of 16 things that I could say, but the one I will choose, it represents distinction. Sometimes the woman who's married to a pastor, her identity gets swallowed by the pastor's vision. And so this event represents in the earth realm a distinction to all women to rise up and do what it is that God has called you to do. Because when judgment day comes, when the books are opened, God is not going to say, what did your husband do?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, the question will be asked, what did you do? Because embodied in all of us is an oil of distinction. When we were created before a husband was even on the purview, there was a purpose. Before a wedding was even on schedule, you were sent to planet Earth with an assignment. And so many of us lost our assignment because of who we're connected to. So we live vicariously through someone else's obedience. And so this event represents distinction. I believe with all of my heart that what I have seen God do in my own human physical body over the last 14 months is something that has to be shared. In and of itself, there's some parts of this story that I have not even unpacked as yet.
My God.
Because the depth of it is that critical. To hear a specialist walk out of the room and say to you and your husband, because he was there, at that time it wasn't apostle or bishop, it wasn't a Pastor Cleo, it wasn't preacher, it wasn't a man or woman of great faith. She said, Mr. and Mrs. Williams, I am very sorry. Those were the last words I heard from the cardiologist here in Nassau.
My God.
Needless to say, I lost my natural mind, literally. And that's not humor, that's real. I know what it is, having preached for more than 20 years, to not be able to remember what the word of the Lord is concerning me.
My God.
Because all I had in the front of me was a death sentence.
Pastor Cleo.
So while people, go ahead, sorry.
We got to put you on the show, please, ma'am. I don't know when. I don't know. No, listen, I putting you on blast. I don't notice, ma'am. When we talk to our Abba, we can say, Lord, when you want her come, because I know he can say, let her come, but I just don't know when. And the reason why I'm stopping now, because we literally only have like 5 minutes left.
Yes, I'm done.
Up. But
Mark 8th, let the oil flow.
Listen, y'all see, because I tell you, there's no way that she can come here and just stop it. She's going to make sure y'all imparted with whatever knowledge, skills, something before she leaves. And that's the type of woman she is, right? She's impactful. She has no other choice. She could breathe, and people will get. Gail, thank you so much, even for allowing us to know. Now, for people like us who may not be on the island, right, and not be able to attend, are you going to have a live coverage? Because I need to know if I need to be in the mall and find one Wi-Fi thing for me to just listen and do it.
Wi-Fi and a throw something
while I in somebody store. I need to know. Is there going to be some type of live coverage there? Or no?
No.
Or is it that personal or intimate?
It's that personal.
And I get it.
And that's another instruction that was specific. The
I
word
get
of
it.
God says, when the prophet told the woman, what do you have in your house? He said to her, close the door on you and your sons and begin to pour.
I get it.
So for this event, the door is closed.
Yeah. I get it.
Yes.
Listen, y'all need to be in the
Yes.
room, okay? Y'all be in the room and then y'all take notes and then y'all call me and let me know what she say and what all happened because unfortunately I'm unable to. But Pastor Cleo, thank you. And yes, you're
But thank
always
you,
welcome
and
here.
again,
Always welcome
you are
here.
a blessing, and I'm thanking you on behalf of the nation.
Wow.
Thank you for breaking the mold and taking the airways by storm. We appreciate you, Coach Trish, and to your guests, God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. You'll see I'm still dressed for church. I'm undressing now and about to hit my bed. God bless you, and I love all of you.
Love you too.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Listen, today was phenomenal. I mean, I don't even know what to say after that. I had a little
Right.
something. I had a coach's moment, but let me just draw y'all back. Let me draw y'all back. Now, before we end the show today, right, I want to say this directly to every woman listening, every woman tuning in, being a pastor's wife or preparing to become one. It is not about a platform, as we can tell, even as, let me see if I can get her back off of this. There you go. As you can tell, Pastor Audra said, and Sister Tiffany said, this ain't no little thing where you just look nice and you look cute or whatever. Becoming a pastor's wife is not about even a title, okay? It's not about standing beside a pulpit all the time. It's about a calling. It's about a covenant. It's about covenant. It's about grace to carry what everyone cannot see. It's knowing how to intercede. It's knowing how to pray. It's knowing how to cover and protect your king. It's knowing how to know who you are first, knowing your identity, knowing your calling, knowing, who God has called you and purposed for you to be, and then tapping into that with your spouse.
Yeah.
So that y'all can do it together.
Yeah.
Remember, initially I talked about dual dominion. Y'all are there for help meets help.
Yeah.
They are kings meet the purpose and calling that God has for them. All right. And so in that, God has chosen you for this journey. He will also equip you for it. So as Sister Tiffany said before, look, you might say, Lord, you ain't what's going on? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be this person when this other person is not available. I don't know how to tap in when that other person is not available. God is going to give you the grace for every single thing that you need. You don't have to perform for it. You don't have to compete for it. That's another thing that we didn't talk about. The fact that you have a lot of pastors' wives who compete with each other and looking and, and comparing themselves. You don't have to do that when you already know who you are. When you are in your lane, you don't have to look to the right or to the right or to the left. You can look forward because you already know who God has called you to be. And that's why it is so important. One of the reasons why the show is here is so that you could know who you are and your identity, have every knowledge that you need so that you could break the yokes and destroy forces that are trying to hinder you from reaching the goal that God has for you. When you press towards the mark, this is what he meant, towards the mark of the high calling in Christ Jesus. That means I ain't looking back, trying to, you know what I mean, trying to compare myself with what was behind me, and I'm not looking back to carry the weight of the things that carried me before or held me down before. I'm running this race with purpose. I'm running this race knowing that God has me, and everything pertaining to life and godliness he's already placed within me.
Yes.
So yes, this show is for pastors' wives, but it's not only just subjected to pastors' wives, because I play this role too. I have to be a certain way too. I have to cover my husband too. You know what I mean? For the role that he plays and who I am and who I've been called to. So this is for everyone, every woman. Okay? There is a reason why God chose you to be by his side.
Yes.
He chose you. Not Rebecca and Susie and them. That's another thing we didn't cover today. All right? So continue to help him and cover him in prayer, women of God. More than a title, you are chosen for this. Okay? So episode 165, More Than a Title, chosen for this. The journey of a pastor's wife has been brought to you by Your Lane Life Coaching. You go to www.yourlanelifecoaching.com for life and relationship coaching. We're also brought to you by John Shoe Store and Accessories, Tropical Gyros, Lysol, distributed by Thompson Trading, Del Monte, distributed by Thompson Trading. The Children's Dream Journal. Go and get the Dream Journal for your godchild, your niece, your nephew, whomever. All Seasons Book and Gift Center has it. That's in the Palmdale Shopping Plaza, or you can go to Amazon. And then once again, my baby, I hope you all already signed up. Okay, go to 242 Media Connect on Facebook right now. All right, we are connecting media speakers and stories across the Bahamas and beyond. All right, so if you're looking for credible guests or you have a voice to share, join us today on Facebook. It's new. I haven't added anyone yet. I literally just did this last week, and I'll tell a little bit of my story at another time. This is where we get people who have voices, who've experienced things, who's been through breast cancer, who's been through heart murmurs, who's been through divorce and all these other abuse and all these other things. They have somewhere to share because there's a platform for people who are looking for people like them. Okay, pastors, those who do event hosting, journalists, podcasters, people like myself who do radio shows, etc. All of us are going to connect at this platform so that we can get what we need to get in this country to share the knowledge, the insight, and everything that is needed to build our country once again. Awesome. All right, so I'm excited about that. Next week, we're going to have a replay because as y'all know, I'm going to be here, right? So with the following Sunday, we're going to make sure you get everything you need on Your Lane Talk Show. Thank you to my producer, Chris. Thank you to my wonderful guests, my beloved, phenomenal women, my Pastor Audra and my Mrs. Tiffany, because I keep on saying pastor, but Mrs. Tiffany, okay, yes, my sister in Christ. Thank you for just being so transparent today. May God continue to bless you and the work of your hands. Thank you to Your Lane listeners and new listeners. Please like and subscribe and follow the page, okay? Because we have some good things happening for the rest of the year. I hope that you continue to stay within your lane, all right? We are on air every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. I pray that you were all empowered, educated, and encouraged today to stay